Let me ask you something. When was the last time you stopped, really stopped, and asked yourself, am I living or am I just existing? See, most of us wake up to alarms we did not set with intention. We rush through routines we barely even remember. Scroll through feeds that numb us more than they inspire us. And end the day exhausted, yet strangely unfulfilled. I mean, it's living, it feels like living, but are we truly alive? Or are we just eating, consuming, surviving, waiting for something that never even arrives? That's the gap I want to talk about today. The gap between simply existing and truly being alive. See, existing is habit. It's autopilot. It's what you're doing that everyone else is doing. And that's why you think it's okay. But living, on the other hand, is choice. It's intention. It's aligning your actions with a vision that actually means something to you. Your actions with something that actually means something to you. Now here's the strange part. We would never run a business the way we run our lives. No business would survive without a clear vision, without systems, without a long-term plan. And yet, that's how most of us approach our own lives. Busy, reactive, and directionless. So the question becomes, why do we give more thought, more care, more planning to companies than we do to ourselves? Now, I experienced this firsthand. I remember staying up at 2 a.m., sitting in front of my laptop, trying to build something of my own, a small online business. Now, I used to think success is about staying up late, chasing numbers, and proving to myself that I could. But then I realized I was just on autopilot. I was so busy on doing that I forgot to ask myself why I was doing it. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't truly living. I was existing in a loop of busyness, chasing growth that did not feel like profit. And that's what existing feels like. Existing is motion without movement. But living truly starts when you stop and ask yourself, what type of life do I want to build? Look, success isn't about living someone else's dream. It's about stopping and truly understanding what type of life you want to have. Now, we're told from a young age what success looks like. We grow up hearing words like money, career, status, luxury. And by the time we stop running long enough to breathe, we realize I never stopped to ask, what do I want to build with my own life? And that's what many people don't ask themselves. And that's why so many also feels lost. Because by the time they stop, they still feel empty. They feel like they achieved nothing. Now, most companies, they plan in decades, 5, 10, even 20 years ahead. They project, they budget, and they prepare. But most of us don't even look ahead of the weekend. We say, oh, I'll figure it out later. But later comes sooner than we expect. And by the time that it's all done, what do we have left? We stay in our bed empty, feeling like we achieved nothing. And that's the thing. What type of life do you want to achieve for yourself? Now, the good thing about companies is that companies have systems. They prepare long term. And that's the type of life you need to have in order to feel fulfilled. Because if you don't feel fulfilled, what's the point of living? Now, if your vision is health, you need to plan according to health. I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna eat healthy. Or let's say your vision is freedom. I'm gonna budget, I'm gonna sleep well, and I'm gonna say no to things that drain me and drain my energy. Now, I'm not saying that you need to exactly adhere to what a company has. I'm saying that the systems that a company has is what we can use in our own lives. Because life is not all sunshine and rainbows. It's gonna be tough and it's gonna put you down. But if you don't fulfill your desires and fulfill what you actually want, you won't succeed. And most people don't even want to succeed because they don't know what they want to do with their life. They don't know who they are. They don't know what path they're on because they haven't planned any of it. So what's the point? I know most of us go home, we scroll on TikTok, we scroll on Instagram, and we're like, okay, yeah, I'm doing something beneficial. But are you? I want you all to stop and think. 10 years from now, what type of life am I gonna live? Am I gonna be on autopilot? Am I gonna succeed? Am I even gonna be happy? Or am I just gonna fail? Feel like I haven't achieved anything and end the day exhausted, tired. But if you plan and if you think long term, you will understand that life is not only scrolling and existing. Life is like a canvas, and you have the brush in your hands, and you paint it according to what you want. And that's life. Now, as I said before, I know most of us are thinking about success. We grow up hearing this and that, but is that really success? Because let me tell you something. You can have as much materialistic values as anyone else can have. You can have a Lamborghini, you can have a Bugatti, you can have the best house in the world, but you can still feel empty because you haven't found who you truly are. You haven't found your identity. You haven't realized, am I existing or am I living? Because you don't know. You don't know. And when you go on, you understand and you find yourself. I know it's a process. Not everyone has it, and not everyone will succeed in finding themselves. But it's something that everyone needs to go through. The pain, the hardships, the downfalls. See, life is not linear. It will never always go up. You'll have your ups and downs. But in those downs is where you find yourself. Because every time you go down, you can go back up too. And there's a chance for you to succeed. Not just me, not just you, everyone else can. Because if you put your mind towards something, then you realize, I'm truly living my life. I'm not living someone else's dream. Life is a canvas, and you have the paintbrush in your hand. Thank you.